hallo, ich bin Lydia. Ein Unfruchtbarkeitsproblem an sich.
Hello, my name is Lydia. We don't have infertility problems as such. I have 9 children from my first marriage. When we met Manuel, I was already 50 years old and we thought it was necessary to explore alternatives because at 50 it is not obvious that you can get pregnant right away and everything will work out. Manuel didn't have children at that time and he wanted children, so we looked into what could be done. At that time, I was working as a translator, and in the translator's work, you read a lot, you hear a lot, and so I had already heard about egg donation. This is possible in some countries, but not in Germany. Initially, I gathered information about the countries of the European Union, but the situation there was such that the maximum age of the patient was, I think, 45 years old. And thus we could not consider these possibilities in the European Union. Then I heard about Ukraine that it is quite possible to do egg donation at 50 there. So we started thinking about Ukraine. There are many offers here too, but Biotexcom made the best impression on us right away. Yes, ready to help, immediately responded, and provided information. This convinced us very much, and then in 2017 we decided to undergo treatment at Biotexcom. It was the right decision. We succeeded after several attempts. Then our little son was born. But during pregnancy there were problems. I had preeclampsia and it was necessary to urgently induce labor. In my opinion, the doctors in Germany made a medical mistake. They gave me a drug to induce labor which should not be given if a woman has already given birth by cesarean section, which was exactly my case. I had a uterine rupture, I lost a lot of blood, and our son, the firstborn, was extracted by emergency cesarean section without signs of life. He was resuscitated and treated accordingly. He had asphyxia, severe asphyxia. He survived everything without losses, but in my case, it meant that I could no longer get pregnant. It could end dangerously for both me and the baby. It meant a catastrophe for us because at that time everything was going so well, so positively, so convincingly, that at that time we wanted a second child. We had to fight for a long time to decide what to do next. Either give up on our plan, project, or desire, or still use surrogacy, which Biotexcom offered with quite successful stories. And after countless months of internal struggle, we decided on surrogacy. The situation is also such that if they transfer 3 embryos, there are usually other embryos with good quality and very good quality. What to do with them? They can be frozen, and if a woman for any reason cannot get pregnant or is prohibited from getting pregnant, as in my case, what then to do with these embryos that are frozen? Should a decision be made to destroy them? Or still give a chance for life? Or use surrogacy? Moreover, some young women are eager to help and consider it not only as a source of money but also do it out of conviction to help. And just like we believe that life has a very high value and that it is worth taking this step and giving a chance for life, we decided for ourselves and did it. Thus, surrogacy found its embodiment after egg donation. Our path is not very ordinary, not quite traditional. As a woman, I would like to carry our second baby myself, without any doubts. I think every woman would carry her child herself. But if it is no longer possible and potential life is in the form of frozen embryos, then the decision to do this is understandable. That was our way. Yes, that's correct.
Warum haben wir gerade Biotex ausgewählt? Das habe ich ja bereits erwähnt, weil von Anfang an.
Why we chose Biotexcom, I already mentioned, because from the very beginning, there was an impression that Biotexcom is reliable, serious, professional, responds quickly, and takes patients' wishes seriously. It was undoubtedly the right address for us. From the very beginning, we encountered staff and employees who spoke different languages and were ready to help, without any misunderstandings, which in Germany is not self-evident that you receive medical care in a language you understand. Yes, right. Yes, that's why Biotexcom was undoubtedly the right address for us.
Dass man medizinisch Hilfe bekommt in einer absolut verständlichen Sprache für jedermann.
Absolut, ja.
Deswegen, also, ja, das war für uns gar kein Thema. Biotexcom war die richtige Adresse.
Ja, es ist ja jetzt bereits unsere zweite Erfahrung mit Biotex. Und der Unterschied zu der ersten
Yes, this is our second experience with Biotexcom, and the difference from the first experience is that now we have more time. In the first case, we were too busy with these medical nuances and there was simply no time to get to know Ukraine. You are constantly at the clinic during the initial medical procedures, during the first attempts and experiences, and it all happens one after another, leaving you with no time. And then you are already on your way home to the airport. And now with the second experience, it was different. I was able to see a bit of the city, had the opportunity to meet people and gather experiences from other people, and accordingly, it was a completely different experience.
Ich habe die Leute kennenlernen dürfen, ich habe Erfahrungen sammeln dürfen und entsprechend ist das eine ganz, ganz andere Erfahrung. Ja, uns hat natürlich auch der Krieg sehr, sehr beschäftigt. In den Medien in Deutschland liest man das, in anderen Ländern liest man wieder abweichende Sachen und wir hatten da schon ein bisschen Respekt.
Yes, of course, the war was also a concern for us. You can read about it in the media in Germany, and in other countries, you can read things that differ. And we had concerns about coming here into this wartime situation because ultimately you don't know what will happen. But Biotexcom provided us with good advice and assured us that everything here was calm, and we trusted them. We were pleasantly surprised. Of course, we take the war seriously, we take alarm notifications seriously. We adhere to all necessary instructions and recommendations and go to shelters during air raids, but nothing happened here in Kiev. In the center, it is safe. Therefore, being here after several days, we changed our opinion. We are in a more relaxed state, the tension dissipates, but still you need to treat the war with necessary caution.
Unsere Meinung dazu auch etwas geändert. Man ist ein bisschen lockerer drauf, die Anspannung, die verfliegt, aber auf jeden Fall sollte man diesen Krieg mit dem nötigen Respekt behandeln.
Ja, warum sind wir in die Ukraine gekommen, trotz Kriegssituation? Es ist bei uns so, wir hatten den Leihmutterschaftsvertrag im Februar 2022 unterschrieben. Gerade mal ein paar
Why did we
Tage
come to
vor-
Ukraine despite the military situation? Our situation was such that we signed a surrogacy contract in February 2022, literally a couple of days before the war. I managed to send the envelope to the post office, and then there was information about the attack on Ukraine. And then, of course, we asked ourselves questions. Either everything will be fine, or the contract will be accepted at all, or maybe Biotexcom will cease its activities. We didn't know any of this. It was a dramatic situation, I can assume, not only for us but for all future parents, for all the staff. It was not easy for the clinic either. At first, no one knew what would happen. But the contract was signed and we were assured that the contracts would also be executed without any doubts. So we just waited, and at some point we were informed that the surrogate mother was pregnant, and then, of course, we needed to go all the way, come here at some point, and pick up the baby, whether there is a war or not. And since we saw that everything was going well, Biotexcom is informed in the best way about the situation at the moment and can give patients good advice on how to behave. As Manuel said, we can fully rely on it. It was the right decision. It should also be said that in any case, we wanted to take our baby. It was a very spontaneous decision. The surrogate mother was pregnant, and we received the message. We said then that we would go to Ukraine while it was somewhat safe there, and we fully trust Biotexcom.
Die richtige Entscheidung.
Ja, und es ist natürlich auch zu sagen, dass wir unser Kind unbedingt abholen wollten. Also es war auch eine sehr, sehr spontane Entscheidung. Die Leihmutter war schwanger, wir haben die Mitteilung bekommen und haben dann gesagt, wir fahren in die Ukraine, solange einigermaßen alles sicher ist, und wir vertrauen da voll auf Biotex.
Unser Eindruck von der Kinderwunschklinik Biotex ist durchaus positiv, egal ob Personal, Mitarbeiter, Kundenservice, alle geben sich wahnsinnig viel Mühe.
Our impression of the infertility treatment clinic Biotex is very positive. Whether it's the staff, employees, or customer service, everyone strives for the sake of patients, clients, and children. Information circulates very quickly and very well in the parents' language. The mutual understanding is impeccable. The desire to help is very great. It's very professional and very serious. Nothing comes to mind that could be criticized. Professionalism is one thing, but warmth is another. The clinic staff are very warm and friendly. When we had our first air raid alert, our first son received drawings. For example, the ladies from the service staff treated him to ice cream, and they tried to entertain the children. This is truly an atmosphere in which you feel good, which these ladies want to create. I think it's wonderful. These are small gestures, by the way, that happen spontaneously and from the heart, which complement the impression, so that you feel safe and good. Yes, absolutely.
Schaffen wollen. Und das finde ich sehr, sehr schön.
Ja, das sind die kleinen Gesten am Rande, also die eigentlich spontan und von Herzen hinzukommen und die das Positive, den positiven Gesamteindruck abrunden, sodass man sich tatsächlich auch wirklich sehr gut aufgehoben fühlt.
Absolut, ja. Ja, ich betreibe ja einen eigenen YouTube-Kanal über unsere Erfahrungen.
Yes, I have my channel on YouTube about our experience with the country's situation, and the driving force was simply to show people in Germany, people, welcome, you can decide at any time that you want a child, if it doesn't work out for you anymore. If there are obstacles, that's what I want to show in Germany, and that's what motivated me to create this channel on YouTube. Yes, and on the other hand, we include legal and medical information in our videos, and they are important to counter prejudices and misconceptions, in the sense that prejudices are not very good in Germany. Surrogacy is assumed to be everything possible, but not what it is, namely a wonderful service for couples who want to have children. They assume everything possible, not what it is. And misconceptions, people have no idea how it works, medically and technically. Because of the fear of the new, many people close themselves off to modern medical and technical possibilities. And that's a pity. Medicine and technology can offer a lot. The path of humanity is progress after all, and it's very unfortunate if people don't dare and close their eyes to it and refuse wonderful opportunities for themselves and their families. This should not be the case in our modern world. We need to do what is possible, what is acceptable, yes. And also be open to such things. This is the problem, I believe, that many people have in Germany. People don't take risks and don't dare to take such a step, and as Lydia already mentioned, there are misconceptions. People search for something on the internet and hear something about it, but it's not complete knowledge. Yes, in this sense, the YouTube channel is educational work. Yes. It's also a bit about getting to know people and the country, and it should give impetus to come to Ukraine, to this beautiful country, and get to know the people and dare to try something new. I can appeal to people who are currently afraid to travel to Ukraine. You can do it, respect the entry conditions, behave well, adhere to the current regulations and instructions, and then nothing will happen to you. We came here by car, we stood at the border and were very carefully checked, but this is their culture, in which there is currently a state of war, and it must be respected. There is nothing to fear here on the spot, just follow the instructions in case of an air raid, and find shelter. The devil is not as scary as he is painted in this case, as they say in Germany. So I can recommend to you, if you want to take this step, just do it. Don't be afraid.
Also ich kann es euch wirklich empfehlen, falls ihr diesen Schritt gehen möchtet, aktuell macht es. Keine Angst.